Okay, Iron Man 3. So this came out in 2013, I believe.
Yep.
2013. Yep. So, I think it's safe for us to say that after the huge success that the first Avengers came out, nobody thought that the first Avengers was going to work. But not only did it work, it exceeded all of our expectations, and it made us excited to see what else is in store for this Marvel Cinematic Universe. And this is the first film that comes like right after the big team up. So you're expecting a lot of great things with this film. This is the third film in the Iron Man now trilogy. Now, we already discussed our thoughts on the first two. We loved the first Iron Man. The second film was not that good. It left some stuff to be desired, but we didn't think it was the worst film. But we're thinking Iron Man 3, they're going to get back on track. Especially, since Iron Man had to deal with the aliens and, supernatural stuff for the first time in Avengers. It gives, some new dynamics for Iron Man to deal with. Oh, but little did we know what we actually got. I'm you know what? I'm done with the build up right now. I'm just gonna let you know right now. This is one of the most disappointing sequels I have ever seen. And I hate this film. I hate this movie so much. I'm going to get into why, because there's a lot, but get ready, because this is rant mode right now. Iron Man 3, this film is utter trash. But I'm going to let my colleagues speak on the matter first before I just tear this to shreds. Dr. Nick, how do you feel about Iron Man 3?
I actually kind of like it. I'm in the minority. It's not as good as Iron Man 1. To me, it's not as bad as Iron Man 2, but it stays in the middle. Like what I said in the previous podcast, if someone said, "Hey, you want to watch Iron Man 3?" I'm like, why not? It's a middle ground movie. There are some things I don't like that you're probably going to rant about, and I will probably agree. But then there are some things that I still think are pretty good. So I am the minority in this.
Okay.
I feel like a lot of people do like this movie.
Yeah, I think a lot. Actually, it is still very liked.
Yeah, people say that this is a better sequel than Iron Man 2. Oh, man, we're going to get into that. Goodness gracious, but we're not going to attack you, Doc. If you like the movie, please continue to enjoy it. We're just going to vent out on why this just left such a sour taste in our mouths, because I think you kind of already know. Captain Eagle, what do you think about Iron Man 3?
Yeah, I'm with D-Wizzle on this one. This movie fucking sucks. Like one of the most disappointing sequels I've ever seen. Like right there with Alien 3.
Yeah.
Actually, Alien Resurrection.
Jesus Christ!
I was about to say, Alien Resurrection is worse.
Alien 3 looks good compared
Alien 3 is still,
compared
watchable.
to those. Anyways, oh boy. Okay, so I think one of the main problems with this movie is Shane Black. I don't like Shane Black. I've only seen 2 movies from him, Iron Man 3 and The Nice Guys, and neither of them I liked. He just has a certain style. He has like this weird, the dialogue in his movies is just very odd, and he has this very awkward humor that just doesn't work for me. I'm really worried about the new Predator movie because he's directing that. I'm going to give him a chance, but so far I am just not a Shane Black fan. This doesn't even feel like a superhero movie.
Not in a good way either.
Yeah. Not in a good way. In a bad way. This doesn't feel like Iron Man. This doesn't feel like Tony Stark. This is not these are not the same characters that we've seen before. Do we want to dive into details right now?
Sure,
I'm just gonna
jump. You want to jump in?
Let's just get into it. Because I remember seeing this in theater, and I was just completely and utterly shocked at what I was just watching. This movie felt like a prank because if you guys seen the trailers for Iron Man 3, it was pitching a completely different film. The trailers made it seem like this was going to be the Empire Strikes Back of the Iron Man trilogy. That Iron Man was going to face his biggest threat yet, which is the Mandarin. The Mandarin, man, we're going to get to that. Iron Man facing his biggest enemy, the Mandarin, and then it just seems like the Mandarin was going to be like just this big imposing terrorist threat. We see his mansion get blown up. We see this. You see his new Mark 42 armor, which looks like it was probably going to be his best suit that he made. Just like having him deal with the crisis, after the aftermath of the New York attack. Him dealing with the fact that he's never faced aliens before, and it's like he feels like he's not up to par with his other Avengers comrades, and he's afraid that he's going to have the people he cared about in danger. So it's like, so you have all this, and the PTSD that he's dealing when he went through that wormhole in the Avengers. So you have all that, this whole formula for this film to make this a great film, but this movie like Captain said, this doesn't feel like an Iron Man film. Now I understand what the intention of the movie was trying to do was show that Tony is more than his suits. That he is just as, clever and cunning and, important as if he's outside a suit. Okay, I can deal with that. But the movie barely goes into that. Like, you're trying to emphasize the fact that Tony's so resourceful, but I can only remember like 2 or 3 scenes where he actually uses it. Because when it comes down to the climactic battle, we'll get to that too. It's just, your message that you're trying to give in this movie is pointless, pretty much. Now, let's talk about this PTSD thing, because that's a main factor of this film. At first I was with it. The first 10 to 15 minutes when he's just, getting hot flashes of, him going through the wormhole and the alien attack, I thought that was actually interesting. Like, for the first 10 to 15 minutes, I'm like, you know what? I'm always actually no. I'm sorry. I'm gonna try not to jump around so much because I'm thinking of other points in this film. The movie started off really weird. You have Iron Man trying to do this opening monologue, but he stumbles on his words. So okay, that was kind of an awkward way to start. And then the movie just starts playing. I'm blue, I'm like, what in the world? But then it cuts to a flashback where it's a New Year's Eve party. I forget. Does anyone remember what year this was?
99.
99. So this pretty much is setting up the actual villain of the film, Aldrich Killian. What in the world? This is like some Batman Forever mess, because Aldrich Killian in 99, he's like this awkward dorky scientist and trying to talk to Tony about,
It's kind of like The Incredibles too, in a way.
Yeah, but even
basically your villain of The Incredibles, but it's done in a better way.
Or The Amazing Spider-Man 2, the dorky scientist. First of all, what is up with these comic book films? Like, trying to emulate that origin story when just like you said, we see it in this, we see it in Amazing Spider-Man 2, we see it in The Incredibles. Like, why we kind of in Batman v Superman, but it's not as bad. But this is, I'm sick of the mode. Like that. Why is that so appealing? Seeing him as a dorky scientist, and then he becomes all handsome and smart in the future. Like, it's really stupid. So, to establish his motivation, keep in mind, this is all happening in a New Year's Eve party where Tony is drunk on his ass, so he's not listening to anyone. He's trying to pitch an idea to Tony, in the middle of a New Year's Eve party where everyone's following him, there's a bunch of chaos happening at a party. You think that's the best idea to talk to Tony? I know that's probably your only opportunity to see him, but that's like the worst time for you to pitch any idea. And then he gets hung up on the fact that, he didn't meet him by like a balcony or something to talk to this stuff. Of course he's not going to. He's almost hungover. She's trying to have sex with a girl. Like, come on now. And then that establishes the motivation later on where he becomes the successful businessman, Aldrich Killian, where he's more handsome and not as dorky and awkward.
And you ignored me, so now I'm gonna get back at you. You should have listened to me so many years ago.
So stupid. I think the only thing I liked about that was like the guy from the first movie that helped him escape from the terrorists. He made an appearance.
That was a good touch.
That was a good touch. I like that. So like I said, the first 15 minutes, with the exception of that, I'm like, okay, they're building the stuff together. And then you cut to present day where he has his Mark 42 armor. And like I said, it made it seem like that Mark 42 armor was going to be awesome. And that thing is a piece of junk. A piece of junk.
Actually, all the suits in this movie are pieces of junk.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Jesus. That climactic fight. But anyway, so this Mark 42 armor, like the gimmick with this one is that it can separate to different pieces, and it can go to Tony whenever he commands it, because he has a nano chip in his arm or something that he put in there. So okay, that's cool, that's clever, but like literally, if the suit gets hit or it crashes on a wall, it just splits apart like freaking potato chips. Like, come on. But it was funny the first couple times, but it kept doing it every time. It kept doing it over and over and over again. Until the suit just looked like a freaking practical joke. Just like the rest of this film feels like a practical joke. And so you also establish, going back to the PTSD, so he has hot flashes and nightmares about the attack on New York, which I thought was an interesting concept. You even see Rhodey trying to talk to him and trying to, keep him calm. This is something Tony's never really faced before because, he always has his stuff together. He always is composed. He doesn't let stuff get to him. So to see him like this, okay, that's interesting. That's something we haven't seen from Tony. It'll help build his character. And then we get to the Mandarin. I'm not going to talk about the twist yet. I'm going to talk about how we got set up to that point. Boy, I have a lot to say. So, before the twist, you see him being the main head of the 12 rings from the last film. He apparently rose up to power. He's leaving these terrorist threats on TV. Remember Happy from the second film? He got injured from what we thought was a terrorist attack from the Mandarin, which is actually turned out to be something else completely. But so we have that going on. The Happy gets seriously injured from like an explosion, which we thought was the Mandarin, which causes Iron Man to be set off, just get pissed off. So keep in mind this whole PTSD thing that Tony has. He is worried that the people that he cares about will be in danger, and he wants to do everything in his power to prevent that from happening. But what is the first thing that he does when he finds out that Happy is injured? He calls out the Mandarin on public television and gives away his home address for the world to know, and for the Mandarin to know.
Doesn't he even say, "Come and get me, you know where I am," or some stupid line like that?
Stupid line like that. He reveals where he lives and where Pepper lives to the entire world, so the Mandarin knows where he is to attack. That was the start of the downfall of this film. I don't care, at that point, I don't care what excuse you want to do about the PTSD thing. We complained in the second film that Tony was making stupid decisions. He's making even more stupid decisions in this film. He's putting the people he cares about in danger, who he claims, oh, I want to protect them as much as I can. But you literally give away your home address. And then when you do that, you don't even do the proper the proper protocols to protect your freaking home and the love of your life. Like, come on. He built, like, how many suits? Like 40 suits. Underground. I know that they left a little thing in there, like the suits weren't ready for combat and stuff like that. I call horseshit on that. But let's talk about that. So even if that's the case, all the 40 suits that he was able to make within a year, which is kind of ridiculous to me, but
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
all the 40 suits that he could make in a year, not one of them was ready. Okay, so if you don't have that, why didn't you get your other armor from the previous films to use? Why are you using the cheap hand-me-down potato chip suit Mark 42 to defend your house when you clearly established that it is not ready? It is a prototype. But you use that to defend your house? Yeah, you deserve your mansion to get blown up, you idiot! Stupid! Stupid. And I was ready for that scene. When I saw in the trailer that his mansion got blown up, it looked freaking scary and epic as hell.
But then when they gave the reason, like, when you saw it play out as to the reasons why, you know, the mansion was getting blown up, it's like, are you kidding me? Like, you give out your address, and he shows up. Of course he's going to show up. And he's going to blow up your mansion. And I want to get back to the suits real quick.
Sure.
Like, it wasn't even... It was, like, kind of funny the first time because it was unexpected, but like you said, they keep doing it over and over, and it feels like a betrayal of the Iron Man character because we can see him take a lot of damage, in the other movies, like that Iron Man suit is durable, but in this, it's just like, you throw a rock at it and it's gonna fall apart. It's stupid. Like that's one of the things of like Shane Black's humor. And it's like it's not funny. I could tell he was going for a laugh effect, but it just was not funny.
No, it's not funny. I'm gonna talk about Pepper real quick because she's she was acting like kind of a douche in the beginning of the film because she was not being sympathetic to Iron Man's PTSD at all. When he's having nightmares in the middle of the night, they're sleeping together, and then the Mark 42 armor just appears out of nowhere because I guess it can somehow be connected to when he has nightmares. Okay, sure, why not? But they had like a kind of a scare,
a jump scare,
a jump scare. Yeah, and then just Pepper is just like being not sympathetic towards the situation at all, even though like the scene before that, they were talking about why Tony's like being all paranoid and why he's so obsessed about making suits over and over. They literally had a conversation where it seemed like, okay, she's understanding about it. But no, the next scene, you literally betrayed the character within your own movie because after that point, she just doesn't care. Like, what happened to the great chemistry from the first Iron Man, even in the Avengers? It's like, what is going on? I thought these two actually, because even at the end of the second film, they confirmed that they're together. They submitted their love for each other. But like that's something that she should be more, should take that a little bit more seriously, because this is Tony Stark, who you've known for your entire life, and he's dealing with this PTSD, which he's never had before. So it's like, come on, Pepper, you have to do a little bit more than that.
This is a near-death experience for Tony.
Yeah.
So.
Near-death experience, but like you can be a little bit more sympathetic towards the situation. And do you guys remember that other girl that's in this film? I forget.
Oh yeah, the chick that he banged at the beginning in the flashback.
I don't remember her character like really at all. She didn't really play she kind of did, because this is a spoiler review, and ends up working for Aldrich Killian, trying to get some information out of him or something. I don't know, but she plays a little factor, and once again we have the stupid love triangle. Do we get a love triangle right now? There are so many more important things you could be doing in this film than doing this stupid crap. Did we learn anything from the second film? No, apparently not. Okay, so after the mansion gets blown up, tells the suits to, to attract to Pepper and, get the other girl out of there. Okay, cool. And then he gets the suit right back, and he's not able to escape in time. He actually tries to fight the helicopters, but fails miserably. And then that leaves him for his suit to, retreat to, I don't know where the heck he went. Freaking in the forest somewhere in the country? Sure, why not? And then the suit just doesn't work, the Mark 42 suit. That's what he sticks with the rest of the film, and I'm just like, why?
And that's when this movie gets extremely boring for me, because, I love Tony Stark, but not when he's written well and when he's being a stupid idiot, which is what he is in this movie. So it's like there's barely any Iron Man from this point on, because it's just the Tony show, and it's not even good.
No, it's not even fun to watch. Like you said, it's boring. And then you have this stupid subplot with the kid, which is he's surprisingly one of the best parts of the film. But why is the kid here? To appeal to children? Is that what you're trying to do, Disney? Like, what the hell? It's like, so you spend like almost half an hour with this kid in some sort of country place trying to rebuild his suit.
It's actually Chattanooga.
Oh. Chattanooga?
Chattanooga.
That's where it is? Okay,
oh,
Chattanooga.
Crap. This was the first Disney Marvel.
This is the first? Actually no, because Paramount is still made this film, but at this point, yeah, Disney owned it.
Because I know they put Disney's name at the end
of
the credits. So
yeah.
it was the first one that they were involved in. Good job, Disney.
Yeah, it's a funny thing. Yeah, it's even though that part in the movie says it takes place in Chattanooga, Tennessee, it was actually filmed in North Carolina. Chattanooga is pretty advanced. It's not like a backwater, bilgewater banjo playing place. They actually have the fastest online internet service in the entire United States, so it's a weird point.
So they couldn't even be culturally correct. They just don't give a shit. This is the tagline for this movie. They just don't give a shit.
I think Shane Black was trying to go for a vulnerable Tony.
Yeah, and speaking of that,
he doesn't have his suit. He's got to, figure out a way to deal with stuff. But
yeah, speaking of that, he wanted to do Demon in the Bottle, but they tried to touch on that in Iron Man 2, and then Disney came and nixed the idea, so he wanted to actually do Demon in a Bottle, and even Shane Black didn't want to do Mandarin. He actually didn't. He actually doesn't like the Mandarin, and he didn't want to do Mandarin.
Well, you can tell because he shit on it.
Yeah. The whole Mandarin thing is kind of like another issue on its own, which we will get to in a second. But, yeah, so we're spending this entire time in, what's the name of the place again? Chattanooga, or what they think is Chattanooga, and it's like, I will say one good thing I say about this movie is the dialogue between Tony and the kid I actually thought was good. I liked it. The kid was actually a good actor, and there was actually some good humor there. So the chemistry with those two, I thought it was fine. It's funny how the kid and Tony have better chemistry in this film than Pepper and Tony. That's kind of really sad. But so let's just get into the Mandarin thing. So like I said, this movie made you think that Mandarin was going to be the biggest enemy that Iron Man has ever faced. And in the comic books, he actually is. He's like this. Now, I get from the comic books, you can't really translate that to a film 100% because Mandarin's powers are so out there and ridiculous. He has these 10 rings that's able to manipulate reality and like create whatever he wants, and it's like it's from aliens from outer space. So it's like that's a bit out there. So keep in mind, I'm not expecting the Mandarin to be exactly how he is in the comic books because you can't do it. It's like it's too out there.
That and also he's kind of a racist. racist caricature too.
Yes, he's a racist character
He's
too.
dated racist caricature, so
Very dated. So I didn't care that Ben Kingsley was going to be the Mandarin. I think that
I have
was
to
a
admit,
really good
even
choice.
when he was Ben Kingsley was the Mandarin,
Mhm.
he was fantastic. He had a command, like he was like, ooh.
Yeah, yeah, like when they were showing
when
those
the
videos.
videos, and he had that voice like, "You'll never see me coming."
Yeah,
That was like really
had
intimidating.
goosebumps.
Like,
That
oh,
legit,
dang.
like, that was terrifying. Like, especially now, in a post 9/11 Osama bin Laden era, that is terrifying. Like, imagine seeing that pop up on screen. That would be terrifying to see, and it was fantastic. Ben Kingsley, he did a great job with that, with the false Mandarin.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yep. And then
Yep.
Plot twist.
plot twist. So Tony, like, makes some hand-me-down spy weapons out of arts and crafts, and figures out the location of the Mandarin at some sort of mansion in Miami. Okay, that's weird. So he infiltrates the mansion. That's probably the only time he actually utilizes his skills as Iron Man. If not, that's like the best time he does it. Without him using his suits. That scene right there, I'm like, okay, that's cool. So he infiltrates the mansion, and he finds the Mandarin, all right. But it's not actually the Mandarin. He's actually an actor.
A thespian, a method actor.
A method actor. Yep. The big bad villain that they were hyping up for all these trailers, making us think this is going to be like one of the best villains in the MCU, is a stupid foreign method actor. I'm sorry. I'm just actor from Miami. I like football, soccer. Ole, 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 ole.
It was British.
I don't give a shit.
British.
I don't give a
Where
crap.
was that? Where did that accent come from?
I don't give a crap what accent or what ethnicity he is. This is a freaking slap in the face. Ah!
Yeah, my jaw dropped in the movies when he just like revealed like, oh look, I'm just a stupid actor, and I go away. I got these women in bed with me, and like my jaw dropped. Like, what is this? What is this? You just showed us this awesome thing about how like he was gonna be this badass villain, and then yeah, it's a prank. It's a practical fucking joke because you're just like trolling us, Shane Black. You're like, oh, just kidding. Ha! He's an actor. He's just like basically the scapegoat. It's like, oh, there's a real mastermind behind it. I bet you can't guess who it is.
Yeah, take a wild guess. Who is actually the mastermind for this? Who do you think? That's right, Edward Nygma himself, Aldrich Killian. What a twist! So, like I said, I'm not mad that they changed the Mandarin. It's not a fact of them doing it. It's why did they do it? Did you think this was a better idea than doing a modern day incarnation of what the Mandarin actually is? Instead, you have the Mandarin be some hooligan actor, and then the actual villain of this film is another businessman, just another rival businessman, just like the other two films. And then, surprise, surprise, he has lava powers. Lava powers, because that's what he was like working on for the entire film. Because he has this freaking Does anybody? It's like, I don't know. The extremist. So he has this device or formula or whatever it is.
I still don't get what exactly it was. They didn't explain it well.
They didn't explain it well, but whatever it is, it's turning people into lava monsters, where they can just shoot out fire and lava, and eventually they explode.
Yeah, so like it gives them superpowers, I guess. But if like your body isn't compatible with it, yeah, eventually it'll just like turn against you, and that's when you explode.
You thought this was a better idea than actually having the Mandarin? Like, what? Aren't we sick and tired of the businessman villain for Iron Man? There are so many other people in Iron Man's Rogues Gallery that you could have done. If you did want to do the Mandarin, you could have had Crimson Dynamo. You could have had they just freaking ruined the Mandarin, treating it as a joke. Where this film could have had so much potential, but you give us a convoluted plot with a freaking goofy Edward Nygma backstory, and you take Iron Man's biggest villain and turn him into a comedian. Is this what we're lowering our stakes to? Why do people give this movie a pass?
I wanted to walk out of the theater when they did that. My interest was done. I stayed for the rest of the film, but I did not give a shit anymore.
Like, I didn't even laugh the first time it happened because people were laughing in the theater. No, I was shocked. I was not laughing. It was not funny.
No, I don't like getting slapped in the face and kicked in the balls.
No, and it's not like I watched this film once and didn't watch it again. I tried watching it 4 more times. And every time that twist happens, because I'm literally trying to understand why people enjoy this more than Iron Man 2. So I literally tried to watch it, but every time that twist happens, I'm angry. I am pissed. They literally slapped us in the face, giving us something that's, that has alluding to a great film, but instead they're treating it as another comedy. Why? Why? You're playing with our emotions. More than Iron Man 2. At least Iron Man 2 was consistent with his tone and it respected the rules of the universe. This movie literally messes up the continuity. And you can tell because the films after this pretend that it didn't happen until Civil War.
The stuff in this movie doesn't even add up with anything else that happens in future movies. Like, they don't really talk about Tony's PTSD in other movies. They don't have the stupid ass suits that fall apart when you touch them. Iron Patriot. Yeah, he'd like to change. They changed the War Machine into this red, white, and blue colored suit called the Iron Patriot.
And why did he do that? Because America! Oh, yeah! That's why. For people who don't know, the Iron Patriot in the comic books is Norman Osborn's suit. He created that suit. Yeah, Norman Osborn, the Green Goblin of Spider-Man. That's his suit. But instead they want to slap it onto Rhodey for some reason. What was wrong with his War Machine armor? If anything, the War Machine armor is still better than that Iron Patriot suit. Oh, he doesn't even do anything in that Iron Patriot suit. Nothing. He doesn't even help in the final battle or anything.
Yeah, no.
And it's like, let's just get to the final battle because that was the biggest bullshit in this entire film.
Yeah, speaking of playing with your emotions.
So this whole time, Iron Man was not able to summon his suit, even though he needed it 3 different times in this film. But no, you decide now. Oh, yep, the suits are ready now. We can deploy them.
Even though you hadn't worked on them at all for the whole movie.
So
no, they're not ready.
No, they're not ready. And okay, and they give us the bullshit excuse. Oh, they're buried under some rocks, so they can't go anywhere. You're telling me that 40 suits can't break through some rocks? When you establish in the first film that the hand-me-down first suit that he made in the cave not only broke through metal, but blew up an entire terrorist base. But you're telling me that 40 suits can't break through some debris?
Yeah, use those little itty-bitty missiles that you used in the first film to blow up one tank. Why don't you just do, 40 of those?
40 of those!
You probably don't even need 40 of those to break through.
No! All you need is one!
Yeah.
Which is why I'm going back to this freaking Mark 42 armor, and it's like, you couldn't make... The previous 3-4 suits that you used in the previous films are better than that.
Yeah.
One suit could hold a fight against Thor, the God of Thunder. One suit from the previous film is able to hold his own against a god. But that suit breaks if somebody blows on it. Ridiculous. So then you have this stupid climax battle where all the suits come, freaking all 40 suits, attacking the extremist lava people that Mandarin, not the Mandarin, Aldrich Killian calls on to. So there's this freaking huge, like, chaotic scene where all the suits are flying everywhere and just blasting people left and right, which, in theory, is kind of a cool scene because I've been waiting to see that in an Iron Man film. The Iron Legion, what they're called in the comic books, where all the suits are radio controlled and are kicking ass. So yeah, I waited to see that, and I see some armor from the comic books that we see in this movie, and I'm like, oh yeah, like the Silver Centurion. I love the Silver Centurion suit, but it barely did anything, and once again, it just broke like some potato chips, like barely held its own at all. And then you have the Heartbreaker armor, which is pretty cool. That's like probably the best looking suit in that film, but it's only for one like cut scene, and that's it. You don't even see it blast anything. You just see it taking Rhodey somewhere. And then once again, the suits are just blown up like that. Like all the suits are just like bam, bam, it's destroyed, bam, it's destroyed, bam, it's destroyed.
Like, it's not that easy to blow it up.
No,
That's why it's like a betrayal of the Iron Man character, and Tony, and like, this doesn't feel like Tony Stark either. He's just
no, it just feels
stupid.
like
It's a betrayal of both characters.
betrayal of both characters. It's just the most ridiculous scene I've ever seen in my life. I kind of forgot about this one scene before. There was that scene where the Mark 42, where he's remote controlling the Mark 42, saving people from falling out of an airplane. That was actually a good scene.
Yeah, that was a good sequence. That's one of the few scenes I like in this movie.
Mm-hmm. But you kind of killed the scene when you reveal, he's not even in the suit, and the truck freaking hits the suit, and it breaks in a million pieces again.
Yeah, that actually killed the scene.
That killed the scene, like really. Oh my god, man! You really think this is funny, Shane Black?
It's laughable. It's you want to laugh. It's laughably bad.
It's laughably bad. Oh my gosh! And then it turns out that Aldrich Killian has lava powers too. Yeah, great.
And there's also this weird Mr. Steal Your Girl thing where he's like has this thing for Pepper earlier in the movie for a minute, which is like so pointless.
Yeah, it's not even
like creepy. Yeah,
it's a love square now. Jesus Christ! The girl from the beginning of the film got killed too, and I'm like,
yeah, she was so pointless. Like
that sucks.
Oh, I want to help Tony, and we gotta stop him. I shouldn't have helped him through all this. And then he just like shot her, like, bitch, I don't need you. I'm like, okay,
sure. And then he captures Pepper and puts that extremist stuff into her. Oh Jesus! So Aldrich is fighting Iron Man, and I use that term loosely. And so there's this stupid fake triumphant scene where he got his suits destroyed by Aldrich because he keeps putting on suits and trying to fight him, but Aldrich keeps finding the suit, whatever suit he's in, and then in the distance, because they're on a pier, they're in the distance. You see something flying this way, and what could it be? Oh, it's the triumphant Mark 42 armor coming back to help him. And it's like this whole triumphant scene, this triumphant music like the prodigal son returns. And then the suit hits like a freaking beam and it just boom, 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 boom. Comic relief. Because that's what we really need in this scene. Anyway. So, the Mark 42 fails for the 15th time. And then, they're doing this false thing where Pepper's in the final scene. And she's about to fall to her death. And it made it seem like, she died because she ended up falling. And it's like, oh man, Pepper's dead. And it's like...
It was like, Tony's like, I'll catch you. And then he doesn't. And then I'm like, oh shit.
They actually just killed Pepper? Like, that... What?
You got balls, Shane Black. But guess what? He's just fucking with you again.
Because guess what? Pepper Potts with extremist powers, surprises Aldrich Killian, does a freaking Liu Kang bicycle kick up in midair, and freaking strikes in the center of Aldrich Killian, blows him up. Because he has superpower. She has superpowers now. She knows how to fight. What are you doing, Shane Black? What is this? Garbage! What in the world? Pepper doesn't know how to fight like that, let alone know how to use powers? What is going on right now? And then you have this stupid thing of, oh, you know what? The day is done. They fight. The suits won and everything. They defeated Aldrich Killian, and Tony decides, you know what? I'm going to stop being Iron Man. I'm going to blow up all my suits in fireworks Disney World fashion. All the suits just like explode like fireworks. Pew, 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 pew. And it's supposed to be this nice, happy ending. And I'm just sitting there like, you're full of shit, movie. You are full of shit.
And you know what? Fine, blow those suits up, because those ones were crap.
Yeah.
Blow up all the Shane Black suits.
Yeah, blow up all the Shane Black suits. Nobody wants them.
Alright, so the Pepper Potts extremis thing is literally pointless, because after this scene, they magically are able to medically remove it from her.
Oh, and not only that, they're able to now magically get the shrapnel out of Tony Stark's chest.
Yeah, he just magically gets a surgery, and now he doesn't need an arc reactor in his chest anymore either. When that's like an iconic thing about Tony Stark, is that he's got that. It's like a special feature of him.
Yes.
And Shane Black, you have to fucking undo that?
No.
Yeah, you have to give us one final, slap on the cheek.
Like, what the actual hell? And then, so now he has a hole in his chest, I guess? Like, is he still able to live with a hole in his chest? Because now you took the arc reactor out? Literally, they established it was such a struggle to even get one shrapnel out of his heart, but now you're telling me in a montage, in like a freaking voiceover that he has in the end, oh yeah, they can take the shrapnel out now. Well, how are they able to do it? Do they even explain how? No! Just one quick scene and that's it!
Only 5 years have passed in between, like the first Iron Man and Iron Man 3. So how has, technology or medical procedures changed to where, now all of a sudden we can do it?
This movie is so full of crap. And then at the end he wants to be like, no matter what, if I have my suits or not, I'm still Iron Man.
And this movie is still garbage.
Garbage, garbage, garbage.
Trash, 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 trash. The worst movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Fuck this movie. Fuck Shane Black. This movie holds no significance to me or to the rest of the franchise, clearly, because it's not referenced or piggybacked off of at all.
Yep. Doc, you have any more thoughts about Iron Man 3?
I don't think it's the worst. I don't think it's the worst. Like I said, I don't think it's the worst MCU movie. We'll get to that soon.
Oh,
okay.
We'll get to that soon, but I feel I still enjoy it. I really wanted you guys to have your pedestal to vent, because I could tell this was keeping you guys up at night.
It was. I'm actually glad I was able to talk about this movie because, I haven't really had a chance to explain to people why I just hate it so much. Overall, this is just baffling to me why people are accepting this more than Iron Man 2. I'm not saying Iron Man 2 was like a good movie, but at least it's more consistent and more of a coherent film. This movie is all over the place. This movie doesn't know what tone it wants to be. This movie is a slap in the face to Iron Man and the rest of the cinematic universe. If this movie didn't happen, there will be no significant impact with the rest of the films going forward. This movie, I don't understand why Jon Favreau couldn't come back and...
He was directing. He was directing Magic Kingdom.
Oh, okay.
So he was offered, but he had to decline because he wanted to film Magic Kingdom.
Yeah. It's so funny that they tried to put restraints on Jon Favreau in the second film, but with this movie, they let Shane Black pretty much do whatever he wanted.
And you can tell.
Yeah. So, overall, I give Iron Man 3 a D. And I'm being nice because there was that cool scene in the airplane The kid was not bad.
Actually, Dwayne, would you say this is the last Jedi of Iron Man movies?
Abso-freaking-lutely! Yes! And we will get to those Star Wars films in the near future.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this is the Dark Knight Rises of the Iron Man films.
Oh no, Dark Knight Rises is amazing compared to Iron Man 3.
Still pretty good.
Oh man.
Oh yeah, you're right. But I was disappointed with Dark Knight Rises too because I enjoyed the first two Batman films, but yeah, just the third one was subpar. This felt like a worse version of Dark Knight Rises to me. This came out right after, so I'm like, screw this movie. D.
Oh, the post-credit scene.
Oh, the post-credit scene.
I feel like Bruce Banner with this movie.
Yes, the pointless post-credit scene where apparently Bruce Banner is doing some therapy crap for Toady. That's it.
Yeah, like this is basically Tony venting about all that happened in Iron Man 3.
Yep.
Yeah, and then but Bruce was just asleep the whole time.
Yep.
So it was like, oh, sorry, I missed it.
All right, I'm not a therapist. I'm a scientist or whatever. Like,
damn it, Tony, I'm a scientist, not a therapist.
I wish I could have been you, Bruce. Wish I could have been asleep.
Mm-hmm. So screw this film.
Yeah, D or possibly even D-. This movie just sucks so bad.
I give it a B minus.
You give it a B minus?
B minus.
All right.
And it feels even worse because it comes after the Avengers, which is one of the best films in the franchise, to the absolute worst.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I have anything else to say.
Yeah, I think I let everything out. I feel a lot better inside.
Yep. Yeah.
All right, so that's our rant about Iron Man 3. Yeah, it's the worst film in the franchise so far. You guys can comment whatever you want. You guys can keep enjoying this film, but us, we don't want to watch this ever again. We just want to pretend it didn't happen.